there folks, JD here, and today we are looking at these. So we've got the JJRC JJ1 and the JJRC JJ2. Now the JJ2, you can see quite simply, you can denote between the both of them. One of them's black and it has got the 4 dots going up the back of the quadcopter. So these are micro quadcopters and they're pretty cool because JJRC gives you 2. Now these are meant to be little speedsters, so these are meant to be really quick, really fast, and they can dodge really easily as well. Now the whole point of having 2 of them is that inside the box you get a augmented reality game as well. You can play with these. Now that seems to be JJRC's big thing for the minute. The Blue Crab had it, these have it as well. I think it's a great thing. I think it's a nice little bit of fun. So what features do you get with these? Right, let's start off with the JJ1. So the JJ1, as you can see, is a folding quadcopter. It's quite simple to unfold. Just pull out the propeller arms and that's what you get. A nice looking little quadcopter. Little LED on the front. There's no camera with these at all. LEDs as well are across the sides and the back of the motor housings as well. Charging port in the back, as well as above the charging port there's a tiny little switch that you have got to be careful when you turn on and off. It doesn't feel that safe to me, but that could just be because I have huge hands. Underneath you have a couple of air holes as well for aeration to ensure that the battery, which you can't get access at, doesn't overheat. And also you've got the little air holes as well inside those motor arms. Now these little quadcopters, these can do 3D flips, as well as they have multiple speed modes. Okay, so that's the quadcopters done. Let's have a little look at the transmitter. So here's the transmitter. It's a little bit different to what we're used to from JJRC. Obviously there's no FPV boom because there's no camera to relay back to your phone. There's no altitude hold either with this particular quadcopter. That's why you can't see this particular analog stick sticking in the middle like that. It feels really plasticky. It feels quite sturdy. I'm not worried about that, but it just feels a little bit too plasticky for me. 2 shoulder buttons. One's for speed, the other one is for 3D flips, which we're going to be trying out as well. And that's it for the main buttons. You've then got your trim controls, headless mode, and a couple of other buttons as well running all around the outside of the analog sticks. But that's it. The transmitter is really small, really compact. So I think with that, let's take them up. Okay, so here's the JJ1 going up first, and this does seem, over the 2 of them, it does seem to be the more powered of the quadcopters. Now it's very quiet and it does tend to, it sounds really good as well. It's not too loud, it's not too quiet. It's something that, okay, the LEDs are bright. Oh yeah, the LEDs on the front are bright when the quadcopter is above you. When the quadcopter is up directly in front of you, it's very difficult to see the little LED. But look at that, 2 red LEDs at the back. Oh yes, this guy looks pretty good. Pretty easy to fly. Okay, so this is just your standard speed mode number 1. I'm trying not to let it go too far away because I understand it's very difficult to see something so small on camera. Right, okay, so what I'm going to try and do for the second is just increase this to speed mode 2, give it a bit more welly. Speed mode 2, oh wow, yeah, that thing really dips, and off it goes, really quick. And we've got speed mode 3 as well, folks. That is guaranteed to drain the battery, and off it goes, and it is very fast. Oh my god, look how quick it is. And it controls remarkably well. It turns without any issue at all. Oh god, this thing is really good. Look at it flying for something so small. Okay, let's go back to speed mode 1. I don't want to wreck the battery straight away. Couple of 3D flips as I'm quite close to the camera. Let's bring him back around. Let's do a couple more 3D flips. Okay, looking good, looking stylish. Okay, first thing you've got to realise with this now, as there's no locking on the propeller arms, it is quite easy. When you come down, you kiss the floor. That's exactly what I call it. When you come down like that and you give the quadcopter a bit more power and it just kisses the floor and then bounces back up, the propeller arms do move. So if that does happen, you're going to have to double check and just ensure that they are all clipped out again, because this just kissed the floor once and the propeller arm just kicked back in. So with that, Yeah, everything's fine. Let's take her back up. Okay, so far I'm really taken with this little guy, the JJ1. He is, he's really quite sweet. He's very fast in speed mode 3, quite fast in speed mode 2. Speed mode 1 is more for cruising speed, but look how easy he does these 3D flips. He just doesn't care. He's just flying around and then just 3D flipping. No problem at all. Alright, I tell you what, let's bring him down and let's take up the other one. And then if we've got enough battery left, we'll take them both up again at the end. So, down we come. Thank you, mate. Okay, so now we've got the JJ2. I've just turned this little guy on using the little clip at the back, the little on button at the back rather. Let's bind single one up, one down motion. LEDs will then stay solid. And then, haha, we can take this up. Now, I would have said these guys had equal power until I took them both up at the same time. Now, with this guy, his body's a lot wider. He's got 3 LEDs to the front rather than just the one. He's got 2 red LEDs to the back, so that stays exactly the same with the JJ1. 3D flipping is good, but when he comes back down, you've got to make sure you're on that throttle, because as he's a little bit wider, I'm guessing he's a little bit heavier. And he will come down a little bit harder, so you've got to just be ready to feather that throttle up a little bit. And this is speed mode 2, and he is a lot quicker, a lot faster, but I still think JJ1 is quicker. I still think it's faster. Speed mode 3, as you heard, 3 beeps using the left shoulder button there. And honestly, yeah, there's a little bit of a difference. I can see a noticeable difference between 2 and 3, but other than that, there isn't really a lot going on with that. I'm guessing because of the size difference. It was really noticeable with JJ1. JJ2, not so noticeable, but this guy is really flying well. That is one thing that I can say for this guy. He's flying remarkably well. And those 3 LEDs, wow, look how bright they are. They are insanely bright. Now, with these little guys as well, what you've got to remember is they can just dart off, like with any smaller copter. Now, these aren't nano, these are microcopters. So when they do dart off, they are going to dart off at quite a rate. Look at speed mode 3 again. Drop his altitude a little bit and then whack on the throttle. And again, yeah, speed mode 3, I don't know. I'm not getting a lot of feeling with that, to be honest. Speed mode 2, you can see he lowers himself slightly. And speed mode 1, he lowers himself totally back down to almost flying totally flat. Again, motors are lovely and silent. This is one thing I am liking as technology improves. Motors are becoming a lot quieter. I mean, he turns on a 6 punts without any problem at all. Flies back without any problem. Yeah, really good. Okay, back to speed mode 1 again. Couple more flips for entertainment value. There we go. I love 3D flips. Serves absolutely no purpose whatsoever in the world other than just for pure fun. And that's what I believe quadcoptering is all about. Alright, so increase the speed mode 2, get a little bit more speed here. Because speed mode 1 is most definitely slower than JJ2. Than JJ1. And do you know what? I think we'll put that to the test. Let's bring him down, let's land him, and then we will take up both of them in unison. Okay, so what I'm going to do for this, I'm going to put JJ1 in front, JJ2 behind, staggered, so that we're not going to get any collisions mid-air. And all I'm going to do, it's not going to be spectacular, I don't think, but I'm just going to take them both around a bit and just see how they react. If it's a little bit too risky, then I'll just bring them down. But it's only going to be in speed mode 1. Bind, buff, both bound, both solid. LED is solid on the transmitter. So up we go. Look at these. Look at these. Both turning at the same time, yes. JJ1 kissed the floor a little bit there. Oh, it's really difficult to keep them both up. I wonder if they can both flip at the same time. Let's try it. Let's bring them back around to me. Yes, they can. Look at them go. Oh, altitude climb. Okay, we've got battery low in JJ2 and batteries low in JJ1. In fact, JJ1 has just ceased to exist. So let's land JJ2 as well. That was a nice little test. Oh, that was a nice little bit of fun. Alright then folks, as I come and collect the carcasses, then let's go and get a verdict on this pair. Alright, so wow, what do I think of these guys? Well, I gotta be honest folks, I love them. They are just a pair of crazies. An absolute pair of crazies. Pretty much you can fly them in unison, but it's extremely difficult. Or you can fly them separately, which I believe is how JJRC imagined them. The whole point of, I think when I watched their adverts, they for these particular quadcopters, they said that you can double the battery life. So what they imagine is you take one up, fly it around, and then swap it when the battery dies for the other one. So you're getting about 6 to 8 minutes of battery with each of them. Which obviously if you're looking at the max amount of time, so 8 minutes ish, so you're looking at 16 minutes for them both. Oh, but they're so good, and they fly in unison as well, which I think is just well, hilarious, and really good fun as well. But let's look at JJ1. A lot faster, very fast. Speed mode 1, 2 and 3 noticeably very quick. Now, one thing I did have with this that I didn't have with JJ2 is when it came down and it kissed the floor, it did move one of the propeller arms in a little bit like that. So you have got to make sure that you're keeping aware of the propeller arms at all times, just to ensure that they are out and they are functioning. Obviously, if they are in, if one is in, then you're not going to get the correct flying method from this particular quadcopter, and it is going to be nothing but dangerous. So then just bring it down, stop it, click out the propeller arm and take it back up. So yeah, that is JJRC1, a lot quicker, 3D flips no problem, flies around no problem, and honestly the micro drone is extremely easy to keep in the air. So what about JJ2? Well, JJ2 is a lovely bigger quadcopter, as you can see, a lot wider on the front. We just put them both together so you can see them. There we go, look at the difference. Now flying with this once again, like the JJ1, was no problem. Now this kissed the floor twice I believe, and at those times not once did the propeller arms come back in, but also you can double check the propeller arms are nicely tight and screwed just before your flight, just by using these little screws here. Just give them a little touch just to ensure that they are in there nice and secure. 3D flips no problem. Speed mode 1 noticeably slower than JJ1. Speed mode 2 again slower than JJ1. Speed mode 3, it's faster speed mode, slower than JJ1. But it doesn't detract from it at all. It really, I don't think it does. I think it is just, it's nice to have two quadcopters by the same manufacturer in the same pack, and one slightly differs. So you're getting a little bit of a different flying style, a little bit of a different speed modes, and to be honest with you, I'm quite happy with that. And both of them together, well, that's just brilliant. And yeah, I didn't have any cause for concern. The transmitter range is really far. I did once take, I think it was JJ1, right the way down to the fence line and back up, and that didn't have any issue whatsoever. So yeah, altogether I highly recommend these guys. If you want to check out more, the link is below in the description. So there we are folks, thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time my friends, happy flying.